Hey, it's Sheena. Welcome back to the Astrology Masterclass with Queer Collective. And today we are going to talk about the astrology sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio is the 8th sign of the zodiac, represented by the 8th house, and Scorpio is really like a sexy sign. So sexy in the way that all the things that we don't talk about. What do we not talk about? Religion, of course, sex, money, debt, the idea of life, death, and taxes is really Scorpio. So Scorpio represents like the life and death experiences, transformative experiences. So of course birth, and of course, the death experience, but also the transformative experiences that happen in between that. So the actual act of sex and how transformative, spiritually transformative it can be. Of course, because it's also the way that we procreate. This is also another type of transformation. Giving birth is a type of transformation. Even something like graduating from high school and going into, if you have that experience, going into post-secondary or just, graduating into adulthood, an experience that brings you in contact with the other side. Aliens, ghosts, witches would also fall here. It's interesting too, because when we think about where the time frame of when Scorpio falls, it's really in Halloween season. And so when we're dressing up and really are allowed to or encouraged to wear masks and demonstrate or highlight or show up with fantasies or illusions, which is also very Scorpio. When we think also too about like the lessons of Scorpio and the body parts that are ruled by Scorpio. So Scorpio represents and rules the reproductive organs and the sex organs. And so how do we ultimately allow ourselves to become reborn? Sometimes this is through religion, whether they're Christian or Catholic or whatever religion. They will go through like a rebirth or a baptism ceremony, whatever age or stage throughout their life, to signify or represent like the cleansing of their experience, their body, their soul. And so we can also see this transformative experience happen, of course, through sex, of course, through parenting and being parented by, the age and stage of life. We have to come back to this space of things that we don't talk about. So Scorpio also really represents the occult. So all of the things like astrology, and Scorpio is not the only sign that represents astrology. Aquarius does as well, and so does Sag, but Scorpio really highlights the darkness or the subconscious, the intuition, the spaces where we don't really delve in a public space. We find these spaces, whether it's in conversation or within ourselves, oftentimes in isolation. So we oftentimes also will study things like astrology, tarot, even something like Reiki in a one-on-one or in an isolated setting, in a solitude or a solitary kind of setting. So Scorpios, their opposite sign is Taurus, which is all about like the home and the comfort of the home. And Scorpio will really take that home experience and like go beneath and discover what is, behind those reactions, those expressions, that conditioning that we learned, in that formative time when we were between 0 and 14. Scorpio is an opportunity for us all to really delve into what it is that we need in this lifetime and to be able to encourage us to kind of go beneath the surface. The time frame of Scorpio is between the ages of 49 and 56. Just like we have a Saturn return, so the time that Saturn returns to the point of the sky, the time of your birth, we have this return not for Saturn but for Chiron. Chiron specifically speaks to like the wounded healer and where we have wounds. And so Scorpio really represents oftentimes those wounds. Everybody has some kind of experience that they come into this life with that they may want to hide away or not reference or speak about or look at. And so Scorpio really represents that darkness that we tend to hide away. Fully expressed, fully embodied Scorpios will incorporate that that story, that darkness, into the light and into what it is that they've experienced and want to share with others as a learning and teaching experience. As an example, this could be them having had a traumatic experience in their early life and then being able to translate that into the work that they do on a daily basis. I'm going to pull a card for Scorpio. So we have for Scorpio, the new moon in Gemini. Communication is key. Oh, Scorpio. Scorpios are very good at communicating intuitively and the ability to really disseminate and communicate in the way that Gemini does so easily. And so I feel like Scorpios they may have an example of someone that does this well in their life. And if not, it feels like there is a lesson here for you to really be able to harness what it is that you need to say and communicate something that's on your heart that probably either you haven't expressed or you're being called to express in a clearer and deeper way. And sometimes we think like, oh, I've already said that. I don't need to go over that again. But if it's still on your heart, then you do need to clear the energy of that. Yeah, so that's your message, Scorpio. So thank you so much for joining me for this video. If you would like to continue following my journey and following me on the socials, you can check them out here. So definitely check out One People TO and the work that I'm doing there. And if you enjoy this video, definitely like and leave a comment. And if you can subscribe because you want to follow what Queer Collective is doing. And if you want to find out anything else about how astrology applies to you specifically, to your chart, if you want to get a reading or even just more content in this way, reach out to let us know what you want to see. Right on. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.